If only there was a Django Unchained video game. Wouldn't that be nice?
I don't want a video game that's like 2 hours of watching a racist do everything a racist wants to do.
But then he gets shot at the end.
Yeah, it's one fight. Look, I love Django Unchained as a movie, but I don't think it'd make a good video game.
Hey, if they can make a video game out of Reservoir Dogs, then they can...
Oh,
One of these days,
I'm
one
not-
of these days, I need to like speed run that game or stream it or something. I don't want to
I'd
let's
see it.
play it because it's
I'd
not
watch
worth
it.
it. But
It has driving sections, and I keep questioning why.
it has driving sections because they were using the engine used in. It was the
Everything?
engine from some
Renderware?
open world game. I don't remember which one. So it already had like radio and car support and stuff. And so I guess they just
Yeah.
figured why not.
Okay, you can look it up, but I'm gonna take a guess that it's renderware.
I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, do it. You can do it while Nikola Tesla is talking about fire.
Engine Babel engine.
Oh, I just remembered. Huh?
It was the Babel engine.
Babel. Wow.
Just telling you about it.
Wait, you're just gonna smile, say hello like nothing happened? Ava, where the hell were you?
You're never gonna believe it.
I have no idea what that is. I've never heard of it.
Copy that. I'm on
Well,
Oh,
you piece of shit.
it's the engine used in The Crew.
We'll talk soon.
There you go.
By the way, you missed Will being an actual child.
What did he do? What did he do this time?
He basically put the blame of Ava standing up and being a big girl on her somehow doing something wrong.
What an ass.
Yeah. What a gigantic baby.
He
Basically.
sucks. Will sucks.
Will sucks. I want a game about Ava being a really cool rocket pack lady.
No, women protagonists in video games was not the thing yet. You have to wait a couple years. You have to wait till 2013, and then everyone is a woman with a bow. Not guns though. She's just allowed a bow.
You know who would be a good girl with a bow? Jill of the Jungle. Where's my Jill of the Jungle remake?
I don't know.
Where's my gritty reboot of that? But like,
I really hope I'm not clipping the audio here. That'll be so shitty.
oh, I'm definitely clipping, and I've been lowering my amp, and I've been clipping even after doing that.
Yeah, I keep moving the mic further and further away from me.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna
It'll
be
be
fine.
awful. It's okay though.
It's gonna be the absolute worst, and it'll be fine.
Look, we've already hit the rock bottom, which was when we did Cabela's, and, and it was like 200p, and it looked like I had filmed it through like a pane of
A
frosted
straw.
glass. That's the worst we've ever done. And it also has the most views of anything we've ever done.
Necrovision was a game where my computer was dying.
That's
and,
true.
Yeah, it was actively dying, and so every episode had a lower resolution than the last.
I remember that. You
It's
couldn't,
great.
like... You had to avoid shooting things in certain ways because if they ragdolled, then, like, your computer was freeze. I remember that.
What? Really?
Yeah, like,
I don't-
after
I
a
don't
while it
remember
started
that.
just stuttering every time something died because, like, it has ragdolls.
Really?
And so it would just, like, stop, and then they would fall down. I think in the last episode it was like that, yeah.
Oh man.
I don't think we even,
know-
like, finished recording the last episode. I think we just stopped.
Yeah, it kind of stopped abruptly. The last episode was literally just like a role-playing session.
Yes,
And
that's right. We were
over-
talking about hats and my exciting.
No.
Yeah.
It was a role-playing session of like, it was just over footage of fucking
Of all the challenges, yeah, I remember.
one of the challenges.
Yeah. I love Necrovision still. I don't care. It's just, it is what it is.
Kind of
And
shit.
It's kind of shit, but it's hard to hate it because it's so like adorable. I don't know. I like that when you shoot someone with a shotgun, it says Brute Willis. Like that's not even like a pun that makes sense, but they thought it was clever, so they put it in their game. Farmer's
Oh, man.
Revenge.
Oh. Well, it's Farmer's Revenge because farmers have shotguns, right?
Yes. I think. I honestly, I don't remember them all, but I think if you kill someone with a shovel enough, it says shove kill.
Really?
I think so, yeah. I might be
Really?
misremembering, but it was something lame like that.
Oh.
Anyway, that's fine.
Anyway.
I'm surprised this game doesn't have a vehicle section. And I mean like a car. Like, you know?
Oh, just a car?
Yeah, just driving a car, you know?
Well, that's because, it's a dedicated vehicle game. You are Will, a walking jet plane.
That's true. I remember, like, even Call of Duty Black Ops has a car section in it.
Ugh.
And even at the time, I remember thinking, like, that's shockingly lame.
I don't want to be in a car. Like, I love car games, but I don't want my action games to be about being in a car.
It's good because they subvert it because you're in the car and it's like right trigger accelerate, left trigger brake, and you drive and then immediately crash it. And so that was alright, actually, in the end. They're like, we're gonna get away, and it's like, here's a tutorial on how to drive your car, and then it just blows up, and you get out of the car. You don't get to drive it anywhere. I'm kind of fond of that game. I don't know. Probably just because I was in college. When things come out when you're in college, you like them. This is how it works.
I've never been in a college. Sorry.
Well, you were of that age, though, yes?
Once, yes.
But it's just like... I guess if you've ever lived, like, with a bunch of roommates or something like that, that'd be the same sort of thing. But it's just like... There's only, like, one TV, and everyone has to share. So whatever someone likes enough to make everyone else do it, that's the thing that everybody does. So, for a long time it was Call of Duty, and then later it was Smash Brothers, because one of my roommates had a Dazzle, and he wanted to become a famous Smash Brothers streamer.
Back in your college years?
Yeah, this was
Oh, wow.
2013, actually, yeah. He was like, he was going to be the best in the world. And he would be recording it, and he would say, like, hey, you guys want to, like, come play Smash Brothers with me? And his intention was he could record us losing to him to make him look better. And so after a while, everyone just abandoned him, and then he was alone. And that's the end of that story. There you go. If you play Smash Brothers competitively, you will be alone forever. That's the lesson.
I sure hope so.
Oh.
Smash people are the worst.
Fox only, no items. Final destination.
Like, hey, let's take fucking Mario Party seriously.
Oh my god, wouldn't that be great? If, like, Mario Party was
No.
an esport?
Man.
I would do that. I'd be the competitive Mario Kart player. I'd be like, you know, winning all the mini games, getting all the coins, getting all the stars. It's me. I'm the champion.
I don't think we could be friends anymore.
Oh man. I'm sure I'm sure it would be alright. You played Overwatch a lot.
Overwatch is just a first-person shooter.
Right.
Like, it is just that, and like, there's no random element
That's
to it.
true. That's true. Well, the random element is the people who you get teamed with, but
Yeah, but that's something that you can easily like. That's something that you always fix for in an esport.
yeah. Man, I haven't played a multiplayer shooter in a long time, actually.
You know, if Overwatch wasn't about selling boxes, I would recommend it to you.
Yeah, I don't like the whole loot box thing. I don't like the hats thing. It just makes me feel like scummy, you know, that I'm supporting something like that and I don't want to do it. I don't like it.
I getcha.
Yeah. Even Metal Gear Survive doesn't have loot boxes in it. Like,
Are you sure?
yeah, I am sure. I know that journalists have said that it does, but that's not actually true and it doesn't.
Alright.
It has microtransactions. They're kind of shitty, but it doesn't have random ones where you pay and don't get anything, which is like a level above that. You know what I mean?
Are you saying it's microtransactions too when there's a box?
Yeah,
A level
it's like,
further beyond?
Yeah, it's like making your game worse to sell stuff. That sucks a lot. And then if you do that to sell stuff, and then if you open the box and you just get like something that's not useful, then that's even worse, right? Like Battlefront, where like you could spend money and not get anything. That's even worse. And I think that's why Battlefront 2
Yeah.
like upset people so much.
Yeah. I mean, it was... You got something that wasn't even useful in a situation where you got told that you could get something useful, as opposed... Like, which is just rubbing salt on an already huge wound.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
God.
It's all, you know, it's all Bethesda's fault. It's all because of horse armor. That was the start.
That was the... Wait, no.
It's all because of horse armor, Joe.
It's all because of World of Warcraft 2 Enter the Dark Portal.
What?
Expansion packs.
Oh, well, expansion packs are kind of different, though, because, like, originally expansion packs usually were made because a game was successful already, and they wanted to, like, make more stuff
more
and
money.
capitalize on it, as opposed to being a intrinsic part of the game's design to make money,
Eh.
you know?
Yeah.
Like, StarCraft Brood War is pretty good, and they made that because
Not
StarCraft
made
is
by
really good, it
Blizzard?
sold well. Let's add more stuff.
That's another thing, is that, like, eventually you didn't even have to make this stuff yourself. You just found a bunch of fans who were more into your game than you were.
Yes, that's the Joe
To-
Wood methodology, where half of the games that Joe Wood has published are, like, fan-made sequels to games they published 20 years ago. Or 10 years ago, or whatever. Where they just buy up a mod and they're like, this is now the official sequel to that game.
You know, Doom had a lot of those.
Doom had a lot of those too, yeah.
It's why the fucking, the id pack is so huge. It's just like, the
Yeah.
vast majority of the entries in that is just like, here's a mod that we say is okay.
Yeah, Final Doom was like, fan maps, basically.
Yeah.
Quake also, like, there were a lot of, like, people who sold stuff for Quake, and then a lot of people just stole the build engine and made their own games, especially in China. That is very common. A lot of Chinese game companies got their start making, like, illicit build engine first-person shooters. Because it was so easy, you know?
Yeah.
And the build engine is great, so that's fine, but
Well, like the build editor was included with Duke 3D,
Yeah.
right?
yeah, and you could do a lot of stuff with it, too. You could change a lot of the graphics and the mechanics and stuff like that. My favorite is there's this Chinese, like, they made an RPG in the build engine, and they tried to make it a third-person
nice.
one, but the
Nice.
build is not third-person, of course, so instead it just the gun sprite is a dude standing in front of the camera. It's really funny.
Nice. I approve. This is the sort of developer ingenuity that I just am very much a fan of.
Yeah, it's awesome. So like your camera is sort of like stuck back from like it's weird. So when you turn, he sort of siles because of course you know it's turning around the camera and not.
Yeah,
around
he
the
goes in a
person.
circle.
Yeah, so he's just like spinning really quick. It's kind of ridiculous. But you know that was what you did. Nowadays
Hey,
everyone
remember
makes stuff in
when
Unity.
Fallout New Vegas came out and it had a train and the train was your hat?
Yes, the train was a hat because they just couldn't. It was not possible in that engine at that time to do vehicles. It can do vehicles now, I guess, so they could probably handle it nowadays. But Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas are good examples of like those games were successful, and that's why there was DLC for it. And it's pretty.
Oh yeah, there was like 5 packs for New Vegas.
Yeah. There were 4 like story expansion things for New Vegas, but like Fallout 3 in particular, none of that stuff was planned at all. They just made it because they realized that Fallout 3 was doing well, and so they were just like, we should make more Fallout 3. Let's do it.
I mean, Fallout 3 was technically a risk-taking maneuver.
It really was. Like people look at it now and they say, "Oh, it's lame," and it wasn't very interesting, but like it was really out there in terms of what was available at the time, what was going on. It's very different from other Bethesda games, and there just weren't a lot of first-person like shooter RPGs around then at the time. There had been Deus Ex 8 years
And
ago,
Stalker.
and then that was kind of it,
Don't
right?
forget Stalker.
Stalker, yeah. Deus Ex 2, I guess. But, you know, it's easy to look back on those games now and say, like, it pales in comparison to, like, New Vegas and whatever. But it did show that there was a real market for that kind of game. And that's why you got more stuff like it, which I think is cool. Like, without Bethesda, you don't get a whole bunch of cool things. You don't get The Witcher 3 without Bethesda, for sure, right? You don't get...
Oh man.
I know some people really like Kingdom Come, which came out recently. That's actually inspired by Oblivion.
Oh.
Which is something you
That's
shouldn't admit
tragic.
to people. You should just lie about it. but it's true.
Tragic.
Because, like, before... Like, without Bethesda, open world games would just be Grand Theft Auto clones.
Yeah. You know what? So this section is reminding me that there's not a lot of variance to these missions.
No, that's a real problem. And if you look at some of the interviews, they kind of talk about how they didn't know how to design levels for the game, and they went through a lot of, like, iterations. And I feel like these parts
Yeah.
are the bits where they put in more gameplay by just having enemies spawn, because they didn't have enough content, right? They didn't have enough
They
levels.
really should have played Ace Combat.
What?
They really should have played Ace Combat.
That's true, they should have played
You
Ace
know,
Combat.
A game with very similar gameplay.
I'm really glad that Ace
That-
Combat 3 finally got, like, a proper English translation. Because it is
Yes.
bonkers. That game's amazing.
That Oh fuck! There's something just about its atmosphere. It's brown.
Ace Combat?
Oh. Ace Combat 3, Electrosphere, has
Yes.
so much brown.
It's
but
not
it doesn't,
all brown.
Like,
Sometimes you go to
I know
cyberspace.
it's not all brown, but like, I mean, not just as a look, but just something. It has a gritty, realistic story and a gritty, realistic world, but in a very Japanesey way.
I don't know why they cut all the story out for the English release. Like, that's so weird.
They ran out of money.
They ran out of... Well, you don't have to dub it, though. Like...
They didn't they?
I think they just cut
about-
all the cutscenes out, from what I remember. It's just missions
Yeah.
in a story, like, in an order, and that's kind of it. But the Japanese version, which is now translated, is like a branching storyline about transhumanism and also jet planes. It's great. It has art
It
by
is.
like the Ghost in the Shell animators and stuff. It's great.
Fucking.
Remember the Ghost in the Shell? Ghost in the Shell was cool.
I remember. I will never forget Ghost in the Shell.
Standalone complex.
Man, it's my favorite police procedural about transhumanism.
I wish there were more. I guess David Cage is making one, right?
Yeah. There was Second Gig.
There was Second Gig, yeah. Actually, there's an adventure game on that you can buy on Steam called Culpa Innata, which is a police adventure game about like an Ayn Rand utopia detective.
Ew.
So like part of the adventure is because it's like a Randian utopia, the police don't actually have any rights, and so people can just say they don't want to talk to you, and you can't make them. Because there's no such thing as a warrant, because it's like libertarian utopia. So they can just say like, I don't want to talk to you anymore today, and you gotta leave.
Oh.
It's kind of interesting.
Are you sure that's
you work for the
Are you
company
sure that's
that
utopian?
what?
Are you sure that's a utopian?
Well, it's a I
thing?
mean, it's a dystopia, but they think it's a utopia, right? It's that kind of thing, right?
Oh.
Like some people are very happy, other people are not happy. Like that's how it usually is, right? The main character works for like a private security company that has bought the rights to border security. So there's a side thing where every once in a while you go do like interviews with immigrants, and you can just keep them out if you want. You don't have to let them in regardless. Just do it because it's making a statement about like society and that sort of thing. Or maybe it's not. I couldn't tell when I was playing it if it was like a 1984 thing or if he really was like, yeah, Ayn Rand, awesome, objectivism. I honestly couldn't tell, which I think is kind of interesting in that sense, but you gotta break the docking clamps.
Yeah, with what gun? I ran out of ammo.
Use your other gun.
Yeah. I'll just try to, I don't know, make a run?
Okay.
A gun run?
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Now, after this level, I think we should maybe
Call it quits?
call it a day, yeah. Because that'll be like an hour
Yeah.
and 40 of recording, not including all of the other stuff. Oh no! You fell! Oh man, the Liberation machine gun was built using salvage parts from wrecks found in the void. Did you know that?
We need an update on the arc.
I actually did.
Propulsion generators aren't firing, but I have an idea. Will, there is a directed energy.
I have no idea what's going on in the plot anymore.
Use it to jumpstart the
I think he's just gonna blow up a
Well-
thing.
We don't have much choice. Will, hurry.
Okay. So there is a gun, and it is somewhere over there. think I found it.
Yeah, there it is.
Stay on target.
Alright. I found the gun.
Nice.
And what we're doing is
Propulsion generator.
we're gonna charge up some coils.
Right. I remember you did that. But what is the purpose?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Well-
I don't understand what's going on.
What? What's going on is that there is the Ark, which is a huge ship. You might have remembered it from such adventures as Adam's Venture.
Oh my god, man. Adam's Venture.
And
It's-
I pressed the B button a few too many times, and so now I'm on this thing, and I cannot go off this thing.
Let's talk about Adam's Venture.
Tell me about Adam's Venture.
Okay.
That thing, I have no idea what it is.
Adam's Venture is a Christian adventure game series about a fake Indiana Jones who is a Christian.
And he's called Adam.
He's called Adam Venture.
Ah.
So it's Adam's Venture, and his name is Adam Venture. You see, it's a pun. It's not really a pun, but it is a pun in theory. And in the first game, the first game is about you and a scientist have found the Garden of Eden. And so you go check it out. And then, unfortunately, it turns out that God does not want people to go to the Garden of Eden, of course. That's kind of a big deal. So, after solving a bunch of Bible puzzles, you open up the door, and Adam says, like, you know, I bet we probably shouldn't go in. I think the Bible probably tells us not to. And then the scientist says, I am a scientist, and I do not believe in religion. And so he goes in there, and then Satan kills him. And that's the end of the first game. Is
You
their
know
friend...
what?
Their,
That is a very accurate portrayal of scientists.
he's not even, like, evil. He's, like, their friend. And they're just like, well, whatever. He was an atheist, I guess. He can die. We don't care.
Of course.
And then the
He's-
second game is about...
I mean, he was
Solomon.
their friend, but he wasn't a good Christian.
Yeah, he's not a Christian, so we don't really care. They tried to retcon that later, actually, in the third release of Adam's Venture, because there's been like 3 of them. In the third release of the first Adam's Venture game, they add a prologue where he is friendly to them, but in a non-Christian way. So that establishes he's not a Christian early, so you know he's bad.
Well, now the Ark is going.
Alright, and you gotta defend it.
They're targeting the Ark.
Yeah.
I've got a lock. Archons! Copy that. I see them. What's the cannon?
I need a hug.
The Ark.
Congratulations! You've completed a great mission. Remember that? Remember all your base? All these classic memes?
Remember congratulations?
Tell me, Joe, do you have stairs in your house?
I am protected, if you know what I mean.
Ah, Mangosteen.
Well, check it out. I'm being not terrible at this video game somehow. I don't
Okay.
know.
Do one of the episodes just this level. Or
Yes.
alternatively, edit it so it's not just this level. Whichever one.
I feel like I should be editing some of these tries out.
Yeah.
I mean, it really wouldn't sit right with me if it really wouldn't sit right with me if everybody was suffering as much as we are right now.
It's really hot in my apartment because I have to turn the air conditioning off to do recordings. Because it's really loud, right? Because I live in hell.
Right. Yeah, it is.
So I turned it off, and I think it's like 90 now in my apartment. I'm gonna turn it on once we're done. I'll turn it back on, and
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll get myself a
90
drink.
is like above body heat, right?
Body heat is 74, I think.
Oh shit.
So yeah.
So sorry, man.
Nah, it's cool.
We're suffering for our art.
Once when I was a kid, it
And
got
the
to
art is
120
lettuce play.
outside. And I was a child, and we had recess, right? You know, that's a thing. And it was 120
Okay.
degrees outside, and they still made everyone go
Ow.
outside. So we all just sat under a tree until they let us go back in. It was the saddest thing.
Is this a that feel when Texan?
Oh man, you can get that feel when Texan by just watching King of the Hill, and you'll understand everything about being a Texan, including Powder Puff Football, which there's an episode about.
What is a powder puff?
It's every high school. They all have football programs, right? Because it's Texas. But there's always one
Yeah.
game where the cheerleaders are the football team, and the football players are the cheerleaders. It's so crazy. And there's an episode.
You know what? Why don't they just do ladies football?
Some places do that.
You know.
This is like, we're mixing it up because it's crazy. And there's an episode where Bobby is asked to like lead the male cheerleaders. And Hank has to explain to him, like, you can do it this one time, but I will be disappointed if you ever do it again. And Bobby's like, okay, Dad, fine. Like, whatever you want.
You know
Dad,
what?
Hank, you want me to dress up like a woman? And he says like, yes, but just this once. It's like, oh, Hank, so old-fashioned.
Hank is a veritable Southern belle.
He's
except-
very dad-like. It's a very accurate depiction of a not very good middle-class dad in Texas. It's a very specific thing, but it's true.
Is there a very good Midwest dad?
I don't know. I don't know what a Midwest dad would be like, so I can't say.
Or a not very good Southern dad?
I think Midwesterners just breed like in cocoons, like insects. So maybe, you know, ants, A Bug's Life, something like that. That's pretty accurate to the Midwest experience, I think. You know, or like Aliens.
Oh,
if you've seen
no.
Aliens, that's kind of what it's like, I think.
I've never seen Aliens, but there are so many things that reference aliens. So
You've
it's
never
kind of a
seen
cultural
Aliens?
osmosis thing.
Oh
I've
my
never
god,
seen
man!
Aliens.
You gotta watch Aliens. It's great.
Okay.
It's really good.
We can watch it right after we watch Fast 5. Oh wait, we already saw Fast 5.
No, we watched the
Fast and
fourth one, right?
Furious 6.
Did we watch? I don't know if we watched the fifth one or
Yeah,
not.
we technically watched the 5th one, but you talked over it.
Oh,
all
yeah,
of it.
that's right.
You
I
talked
was-
the entire time.
You're right. We did do that. We should watch the sixth one though, because that's the one where Vin Diesel is hired by MI6 to defeat a group of fast car terrorists who are too fast for the government to catch. So Vin Diesel has to do
And
it.
too furious to get off the road.
Yes, and Michelle Rodriguez is in it, even though she died previously. She just comes back. It's fine.
And we will be going to the Broken Land
Awesome.
next time.
I don't know how long that level will end up being edited to, but I just want to say we spent like an hour on it. So, there's that. I think the next level will be better. I don't remember more escort missions in this game, really. There might be some, but hopefully not.